Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good afternoon. Good morning and good evening. Sorry, guys. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in great spirits because why? Another day above the dirt is always a blessing. So hopefully you guys are all doing well out there. It has been an action-packed morning. The news be newsing out here, y'all. No lie. Okay, the news be newsing. We got a strike going on as we speak. It could be very, very bad news. Bad news bears for us as Americans, for this whole country and everything. It is pretty crazy, the stuff that's been going on as of late. But we are here to have a little bit of a discussion. And then, of course, there is a massive, massive press conference that's going to be happening in a little less than an hour from now, talking about all the craziness that has been going on. And I'm telling you right now, some things are about to drop. Okay. And of course, we're going to do some recaps. We're going to have some conversations about a whole bunch of things that are going on revolving around this case. And yes, I know it's Diddy again, but at the same time, this is some historical stuff. Real talk. Historical. As much as we want to deny it, this is historical. Okay. So do me a favor. Before we get into everything, hit that like button down below, please, and thank you. Crush it. Do what it do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. That'd be amazing. That'd be greatly appreciated, okay? Because your boy's working hard out here in these streets, okay? Don't forget to hit that follow button, okay, if you're watching on all these platforms, Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Show some love over there. That'd be amazing. The other thing, too, I want to remind you, okay? Please do not forget, all right, to crush that subscribe button here on my main channel. I got two channels. One that does all the lives and big pre-recorded episodes here on this main channel. And then on the second channel, the Pascal Show clips are more smaller, bite-sized shows, that kind of thing. If you want a video or, you know, hear me cover certain things that are going on around the world in less than 20 minutes per se, definitely go over there. Okay. The Pascal Show clips. Subscribe. Okay. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Support the channel if you can. I see a new member just joined. I appreciate it. I'll give you a shout out in a little bit. If you want to support even further, go check out my Patreon. Patreon.com/The Pascal Show. There's going to be a lot of behind the scenes stuff coming up for all the new episodes of What They Do in the Dark episodes that are coming up. Okay. So definitely make sure you become a patron, become a member. Of course, also check out my merch page, pascalmerch.com. We got some really great stuff. And you guys have been buying the hell out of these Halloween graphic tees. It's been amazing. And we really do appreciate the support. Go check it out. All right. That'd be amazing. Okay, guys, we got to get into this. We got a lot to talk about, a very little time to do it because, hey, let's be real. In about a little over 45 minutes from now, Diddy is about to go down even more. And the reason why I say this is because there is a lawyer by the name of Tony Buzbee. Tony Buzbee. I'm just pulling up his photo here really quick. This man right here, let me just show you his face, okay? This man right here, all right, has something to drop today. Well, it's already dropped. We already know about it because we've already discussed it yesterday. You know, I talked about it as well on my secondary channel, the Pascal Show clips. Make sure you subscribe there so you're always savvy, okay? But at the same time, we're going to hear a bombshell because here's the thing. They've been saying, see, that's the thing. What's interesting about this is that we keep on seeing titles like this where they have not updated the title, which is frustrating because now we're understanding that the title, the amount of people that are stepping forward is over 100 individuals. No lie. Over 100 victims are stepping forward. Now, what Tony Buzbee is claiming is that over 100 of these, many of them are littles. Many of them are littles, or were littles when this thing went down. A lot of them are speaking out in this class action lawsuit, massive class action lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs. Yeah. As much as we keep thinking like, oh, it's a wrap, it's done, we're done with all this stuff, we're done. No, we are definitely not. The hits just keep on coming for Diddy. And of course, in a great way, in my personal opinion. I think this is fantastic. If every single one of these people are telling the truth, then we are taking and we are getting a absolute monster off these streets, which of course, we got to applaud to that. Because here's the thing. It's funny because, in the episode that I did, the first episode of What They Do in the Dark, right? And there's more coming, okay? There's more What They Do in the Dark's coming and all that stuff. Trust me, I'm working on those things, trying to get a bunch of things going on. I'm not only covering Diddy's stuff, but there's other things as well that I'm talking about, other cases and all that, because there's some trials and other things that are coming up very, very soon that I want to make sure you guys are all savvy on as well. But at the same time, somebody commented on the video, on the What They Do in the Dark, the first episode. And what's interesting about this, right, is that about the comment is that they said, oh, she's lying, it's all fake, so on and so forth, right? She's lying. So when we talked about the Thalia Graves, okay, that spoke out, said that she was viciously attacked by Diddy and his bodyguard by the name of Joseph Big Joe Sherman, right? We saw that. We talked about that. And she said, or this person said, she's lying. And I know that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to say some people are naysayers, but you can't deny the tidal wave of people that are stepping forward. You're telling me all of them lied? I'm not even sitting here saying that I think that Thalia is lying. I don't think she's lying. I think she's telling the truth. But I also do believe that, sure, there's going to be a few fakers, people fibbing, people out here just straight cap sliding through, right? Because that's what happens when you have a tidal wave break through. There's going to be a few stragglers, sure. But you're telling me all 100 and some odd people? Let's not forget the 13, soon to be 13 victims that have filed their own individual lawsuits. Let's not forget those. But add those on top of the 100 plus people that Tony Buzbee is about to present to the world in this press conference in less than 45 minutes from now. No matter what, you cannot sit here and say that all these people are lying. That would be absolutely insane. And I got to be real. Really unfortunate for Diddy. But I also want to say this too, and I am kind of curious about this. Where are the arrests for everybody else? Huh? Where are the arrests for all the other people that are allegedly involved in this situation? Seriously, think about it for a second. Where they at? Where they be at, y'all? I mean, is this... Are we ever going to see anybody else catch any charges? Let's not forget, okay? Let's not forget people who have actually been named in these lawsuits, okay? We've already heard about Big Joe Sherman, okay? So we all savvy about Big Joe Sherman. We all up to date about Big Joe, okay? Which he got a lot of explaining to do, okay? Got a whole lot of explaining to do. if he has something to do with this whole thing. And of course, if it's absolutely 110% true. But where is his arrest? Because he did commit this crime. He also did this crime alongside Diddy. And if he did it and these claims are true, then he was caught on video doing these unthinkable things. Let's not forget, this was shared. There was copies made and shared and put out here for other people to consume and possibly purchase. So it does make you wonder, if there is actually a film of this crime, and let's just say feds have some of these things, why aren't some of these people actually getting arrested? That's one thing I'm wondering about. And that would really send this thing home even more if there were more people arrested. Think about that for a second. If there were more people arrested, don't you think all the naysayers would shut the hell up? Think about that for a second. All the people are like, nah, man, you just tried to take a black man down. Hold up. Hold up now. Now we got arrests. Now we got more arrests, baby. More people arrested. So you tell me all the people that helped him, all his cohorts, the housekeeping staff, all the people that cleaned up, covered things up, helped him out. You mean to tell me that won't send it home? That won't be the nail in the coffin? Because it's not enough for some people that the feds have already said that there was an arrest, that they have footage of these freak-offs. Okay? He's getting these freak-off charges. Actually, he's getting these freako charges. He not getting just Rico Suaves. He getting that freako charge. Okay? He getting some serious ish. So that's not enough that they have smoking gun evidence, documents, videos of these things. No. That's not enough, cabrón. We need more. Okay? So if the other people get arrested in connection to these freako charges, what's going to happen? Are people still going to be like, oh, you still try to take a black man down? Come on. This is not that. And that's what's so frustrating about this. It's the same thing when you look back at the situation with OJ. I know. Oh my God. Are we talking about OJ? Yes. Dag nabbit, we are talking about OJ. Just for a second. Remember, race card was thrown on the table right off the bat. But he was sitting there going, I'm not black. I'm OJ. He really said those things. Okay? But he rolled the hell out of that race card. Now, I know there's a lot of people that still believe that he didn't do it, but at the same time, I believe he did it. I really do. But we'll never know because he gone. Him gone, baby. He gone. He has crossed over. Okay? But at the same time, they used that race card. When this was somebody who didn't even claim to be black. But he rode the hell out of that race card, now didn't he? That's another person who did some bad, in my personal opinion. Now it's been, decades later. If I was to say that back in the day, I'd be in trouble for something like that, right? I'd be the court of public opinion, okay? Would be a specific demographic would be very mad about that, right? Very mad about that. But honestly, shoot. Okay. So it's frustrating when I hear these things of, hey, let's just move the goalpost because of the color of his skin. I'm sorry. No, it doesn't work for me. You're hearing Dr. Umar Jackson and other people sitting there going like, why are you taking this black man down? No, he did this to his doggone self. Let's keep it real. He did this to himself. He left breadcrumbs, incriminating breadcrumbs behind that got him arrested in the first place. If he was, thank God he's a dumb criminal, right? Because if he was a smart criminal, he'd still be doing this, shucking and jiving and saying, buy my juice. You know what I'm saying? Buy my liquor and my clothes and my music. I'm so great. I'm a household name. While behind closed doors, I'm an absolute monster. That's literally what he's been doing for decades. But because he's dumb and karma came back and bit him right in the booty, what happened? He's now locked up. Thank God he's a dumb. Thank God he's a dumb. Okay? But imagine if he was doing this entire time and was smart. Didn't film anything. He's like, no, y'all, these images need to be burned in your brain, in your memories. Because we do not use phones, no cameras, no nothing, no Martin Scorsese action going on in this room whatsoever. What you see is what you see, so that if anybody says anything, it's just hearsay. It's just your perspective. But no, he filmed these things. So how can you sit here and go, oh, it's taking a black man down? There's smoking gun evidence, y'all. The level of delusion is absolutely mind-boggling to me. And the amount of people that are stepping forward, yes, there's a possibility that some of them are lying. Some of them are making certain things up to scoop a bag. Unfortunately, we live in that kind of world where people will take an opportunity like this, know that he has deep pockets, which is quickly thinning out, and try to get a bag. I get it. That world, this is the world that we live in, unfortunately. But outside of that, the people who are sitting here saying, how dare you go after him? It's like, yo, he set the playing field up. He made the rules. He made this bed with all the tape strewn all about this bed. He better lie in it, especially when feds catch it and show us proof positive that he's been a monster out here. So please, guys, put that card, that playing card, put it on the side, because this is not the time for it. This is not the person. This is most definitely not the hill to die on. Okay? This is definitely not the hill to die on today, guys. It's just not. Unless feds really messed up, which I highly doubt. And those videos aren't even really his. They're not even his freak offs. They're somebody else's freak offs, which would never happen. Okay? Then it'll be a different story. But I believe this man did some very, very bad things, and he got caught. And that's it. And sure, there's going to be people out here that are going to sit here and say, hey, what about these girls knew, but now they're just changing their minds. Now they're saying that something bad happened to them at that time. Well, you know what I want to know, I feel like that's going to be an argument that they can have in trial, in court. And you can literally let the jury make that decision. But if they're seeing these FOs, these parties, then on top of it, hearing from victim after victim after victim after victim, witness after witness after witness, you know for a fact Cassie will most likely be a star witness in this whole thing. Any other person, I'm still wondering if J-Lo is going to be asked to come in as well. Let's keep it real. But you bring all those people in. You really think that the jury's going to sit there and go, nah, this is all just a witch hunt on a successful black man? No, I don't think so. I really don't. Man, I would say this on any other situation. Seriously, I would. I'd be like, this is ridiculous. This is trying to take this man down for no reason. If there was no proof, but they have proof. They have enough to take this man down and make him and bury him under the prison for the remainders of his days. And again, when you have 100+ people joining together in a class action lawsuit, Homie. Homie. And yeah, Black Anonymous, it's more than 55 now. Like I said, the titles haven't been updated, but they're saying more than 100 individuals are stepping forward to talk about this ish. It's absolutely crazy. Okay. But before we get into everything, I want to play a little bit of Long Crime because they put out a video. And again, like I said, just so you guys know, okay? And I know a lot of y'all already know this, okay? But of course, they're saying that there's going to be a press conference, okay? He's making Buzbee, Tony Buzbee, okay? Very, very successful, very powerful lawyer, by the way. He is making a statement today in about a half hour. 30 minutes from now, he will be making a massive there will be a massive press conference where he's going to make a statement on behalf of 100 individuals that are a part of this class action lawsuit. All of them speaking on what they've experienced, what this monster has done to them, so on and so forth. Okay? Crazy stuff. Like I said, over 120 people in total so far, give or take, that have spoken out and are basically saying the same story over and over and over again. And we heard last night, a quick little video from another girl that said that she was at one of these parties and she was up there for display. And she was also a little at that time. She wasn't even of legal age, but she was allegedly used in such a way that I can't even believe. And she was saying that it was celebrities, powerful people in this room. It wasn't just Diddy and his cohorts. It was celebrities, big names, so on and so forth, that were involved at these parties, watching or engaging in unthinkable activity involving these littles. And ain't nobody said like I said, ain't nobody said nothing for years, decades, man. Decades. This dude is an absolute freaking monster. Okay? Now, real quick, I do want to pull this up. Hold on. Thought I had it. That's not it. Is it this one? Yes, it is. Now, I'm just going to do a quick recap before we get into this video and take a look at all this. I do want to just pull up his statement one more again, okay? Because this is Tony Buzbee's statement. And I think it's important, and I think we should take a look at this as well. Okay, so he said in the statement, okay, that at the time it was 50 people, but it has doubled in size. Okay, so it's over 100 different people that are stepping out and are a part of this class action lawsuit. But they said this group of brave individuals includes both men and women. Many were minors when this occurred. Each individual story is gut-wrenching and heartbreaking. The violations against this group of individuals are mind-boggling and can only be described as debauchery and depravity exacted by powerful people against minors and the weak. Again, where are the other arrests? But he says here in a little bit, and hopefully we're going to hear some names at some point here other than just Diddy. Like I said, if other people he may drop names today. He may drop some names in the next 30 minutes. He might drop a name in here and we're like, what? You never know. And it's going to be crazy because then as soon as if he drops names, all the focus is not only going to just be on Diddy, it's going to go right over to that person or persons. It's going to be wild. But he, of course, said at the time, if any other people are seeking assistance, to please come forward and contact his law firm. But he said, I expect other individuals will be implicated. And we had a huge pause on that last night. And so I want to circle back and reiterate that again, that other individuals will be implicated in this. And it may be people that are household names that we all knew and loved, still know and love as well, present day. You never know. Remember, one of the girls, okay, one of the Jane Does, one of the most recent lawsuits, the 12th lawsuit, she stated that she was involved in this situation, some type of freak situation with Diddy, as recent as July. That's what she claimed, that Jane Doe. So, of course, I wouldn't be surprised if he, during that time, he's like, I still need to do these freak offs, but I need to keep it a little bit more low key, so I can't invite everybody, but I can still get a little group meeting, little tiny gathering, little mixer, if you will, and nobody will notice if I bring one or two other people in the room instead of 20, right? A miniature Caligula, right? But moving on, we expect to have a press conference, and we're going to be seeing that, okay, where some of the stories can be told as the nation learns more and grapples with the potential scope of this scandal. Our firm has always been in the forefront of the most important cases in the United States. We are proud to represent this group of brave souls and pray for justice in their behalf. So again, we ain't done yet. And there's a good possibility other individuals will be implicated. Now, hearing all that, and we talked about this last night, but hearing all that, as much as the people that are sitting here, because there are certain people that are just wilding out here, okay, talking wild, being like, why you taking this? Why are you trying to take this man down? You just trying. Well, no. He made this bed. He gonna lie in it. And the thing is that if you sit there and look at the situation at face value, sure, I can see certain things get lost in translation. I can see something like that. At first it's a yes, but then it turns into a no. But still, no matter what, it should have been understood, respected, and you should let that person leave if they want to leave. That was not the case in this situation. We saw that video with Cassie in that hotel room. Now we're understanding that actual video is her running away from one of these freak offs as he drags her back in to the freak off. Like I said, there's a lot of people are going to be in trouble. And Kevin Hart, which is funny, Kevin Hart has even hosted some of these parties. But now he's trying to move the goalposts. He's trying to change the perspective. He's trying to change the narrative. He's like, now you asking the wrong person the wrong questions. That's what he was saying in a question, in a random impromptu. Paparazzi was out there asking him some questions. Hey, what do you feel about everything? And how were these parties that you used to host at Diddy? All these parties, Diddy. How was hosting these parties for Diddy? That's what he basically said. And Kevin Hart looks pensive as a mug. You should have seen his wife, Aniko. Her face, woo, she was not having it. Okay. But they were both looking very concerned. But then he's like, man, you asking the wrong person the wrong questions. And he just kept walking. And he kept saying, you asking the wrong person the wrong question. And I'm like, damn, I like Kevin Hart. But he used to hang out with Diddy. He most definitely used to hang out with Diddy. He even has hosted those parties. He's hosted those parties, baby. So you get hosted to the party, but you don't go to the after party? I mean, the after party? I don't know about all that. I really don't know about all that. But let me play a little bit of this, okay? We got about 20 minutes until the until the press conference actually happens. That's the other thing. I'm also trying to find where the press conference is actually airing. So this will grant me a little bit of time to look for that information. But still, this is going to be a bombshell. And Nicole B, I'm here just trying to have some fun. You know what I mean? I'm just a squirrel trying to get a. That sounds weird now too. I can't do that with this. I can't even say that phrase. That sounded weird. I'm just a man just trying to make a joke. You know what I mean? Have a little bit of fun. You feel me? Because this stuff is very sad. Okay? It's very sad. You got to bring some lightness to it. It's tough to just, you know what I mean? Oh boy. Okay. It'll be on the law firm's Instagram live. Poor high class. I'll look that up too. So give me a second. I'm gonna play a little bit of this. We ain't done yet. We ain't done. Okay. I still got more commentary and all that, but I want to play this so I can find a little bit here. Okay. Yeah, he does love nuts. Oh, it's so sad. Tale as old as time. Okay, let's get into this.
Arrest 2 weeks ago. Since his arrest in New York City, more accusers have come forward alleging the Bad Boy founder sexually assaulted them. But a law firm in Texas says they have more alleged victims in the triple-digit numbers. Houston-based firm, the Buzbee law firm, claims more than 100 people have come forward with allegations they were sexually assaulted by Diddy and his associates.
Hold on real quick. Let me just fix something really quick. Make sure this is proper. So you guys can see this is a family. All right, that's perfect. Let's continue on, though.
Attorney Tony Buzbee of Buzbee Law Firm made the claim last week on his firm's Instagram page. According to Buzbee, the acts allegedly took place at hotels, private homes, and at Diddy's freak-off parties. The freak-offs have been at the center of the government's case against the mogul. According to Diddy's federal indictment, the sex acts known as freak-offs went on for hours and even days, and Diddy allegedly produced, directed, and recorded the encounters for his own pleasure. The freak-offs allegedly involved multiple sex workers and often involved drugs, including ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which, according to prosecutors, Diddy distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. According to the indictment, the freak-offs often occurred in hotels, and Diddy and members of his staff facilitated the freak-offs by booking the hotel rooms and stocking them with supplies, including drugs, baby oil, lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. According to the indictment, the Bad Boy founder allegedly threatened victims' careers and livelihoods if they resisted participating in the freak-offs. After federal agents raided his homes in March, they recovered items including baby oil, lubricant, AR-15s with defaced serial numbers, and drugs. According to court documents, members of Diddy's entourage often carried guns, and the producer allegedly used a firearm to intimidate and threaten others, including victims and witnesses to his abuse. According to attorney Tony Buzbee, the individuals they are representing, which include men and women, many were minors when the abuse occurred. In his statement, Buzbee wrote, "Some of these brave individuals reported the incidents to police, others did not. While at this time we don't know the full extent of the claims," Buzbee went on to write, "Each individual story is gut-wrenching and heartbreaking." He wrote, "The violations against this group of individuals are mind-boggling and can only be described as debauchery and depravity exacted by powerful people against minors and the weak." Initially, when Buzbee first came forward with the sexual assault claims against Diddy and his associates, he said his firm was representing more than 50 people, but that number has since doubled when his law firm encouraged other victims to come forward. At this time, Buzbee has yet to file a formal lawsuit on behalf of more than the 100 alleged victims. The embattled producer, even though locked up, still faces nearly a dozen lawsuits already, most recently from another woman in Harris County who accused Diddy and his bodyguard of drugging, raping her, and recording the assault in 2001 when she was 25 years old. Talia Graves claimed she was dating an employee of Diddy's at the time, and he leveraged that relationship to isolate her. She said she learned Diddy recorded the crime and shared it to others to degrade and humiliate her. That lawsuit came a week after Diddy was indicted on charges of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Since his arrest, the hip-hop producer has denied any and all wrongdoing and has pleaded not guilty to the crimes. But 2 federal judges have since denied his bail, and he'll remain in federal detention until his trial. This is a great time to bring on Texas-based criminal defense attorney Bridget Williams. Bridget, always so great to see you. Now, a law firm in Houston says more than 100 people have come forward to them with allegations of sexual assault against Diddy and his associates. What's your reaction, especially given that huge number?
It is such a huge number of women and people who are stating that they were sexually assaulted. So it's a massive amount of people. My first thoughts are whenever a federal crime is brought against a person, it's not because the federal government has a minute amount of information. They have an overwhelming amount of information to present against this person. There's probably been years of investigatory work that has gone into place in order to bring these indictment charges. An indictment brings just knowledge to the person. The purpose of an indictment is to notify the person of what they are being charged. So they don't have to lay out all the evidence in an indictment. The sole purpose is just to notify of what they are being charged with. So with that being said, as time progresses, I just expect more and more evidence to come to the surface. So we've seen some things already, but I can only imagine what else will be coming to the surface as this progresses.
Now, again, we just watched kind of a big chunk of it, but again, this lawyer's not wrong. The more and more they get time, like law enforcement gets time, the feds get time, everything as they keep building their case, because this is all they're doing right now. Now they're doing everything they can to build their case to really take this man down. The more they dig, the more they're going to find other people that were involved in causing these crimes as well. All of these enablers, all these people that were involved in all this stuff. Seriously, they're looking at this is no bueno, okay? And it's not good for all of these people that were involved, that helped him, that said all his yes people, etc. Okay? He's looking at this situation's has become very complicated. Okay. Very, very complicated. And it's not over. It's not over yet. Now we got like 13 more minutes before everything starts going down. But I do want to share this with you guys. Hold on. I got a few things I want to pull up, but I want to play this a little bit more of this. Hold on.
And we do just want to kind of clarify that the alleged victims that have come forward are not a part of the federal indictment. Now, the firm also claims that many of the alleged victims were minors when the assault occurred. What are your thoughts on that?
It's definitely heartbreaking to hear that individuals who were minors, they had this happen to them. It's heartbreaking to have any person, an adult or a minor, to state that this is what happened to them on a sexual assault matter. When we think of it from a legal standpoint, though, we have the statute of limitations here in Texas for sexual assault varies from a criminal offense and from a civil standpoint. So on a criminal side, an individual who states that they've been sexually assaulted as a minor, they do not have a statute of limitations to bring forth a criminal case. So at any time, they can bring forth a criminal case of sexual assault. However, on the civil side, when we're talking about a civil case, then if the offense happened when they were a minor, then they have 30 years to bring forth a civil suit against the person who they are saying that caused the sexual assault case.
And there's always this debate of why victims don't come forward when things happen to them. But looking back on these lawsuits that Diddy is facing, there seems to be this pattern of intimidation from Diddy. Do you think that attributed to them being the alleged victims in this case, not wanting to come forward before his arrest last week or 2 weeks ago?
Absolutely. I think that is always a key factor when we talk about alleged victims in sexual assault cases. There's always a matter of they feel intimidated or they don't feel safe or they don't feel enough confidence to face their accusers, because those individuals in a criminal matter, they may be asked to testify in a trial setting. They may be asked to give a statement that will go into evidence and discovery that goes to the defense counsel, and the defendant may be able to read those statements, right? So they have to get to a point where they feel confident enough and safe enough to come forward to bring their case. And that's one of the reasons why the statute of limitations on the civil case is for such a long time, and why there is no statute of limitations for sexual assault against a child.
And why do you think that Buzbee law firm hasn't filed a lawsuit yet with the claims?
Right
Mm.
now, Diddy is facing the federal case in New York. Federal cases are always going to have precedent over any type of state law matters, especially when they're of this magnitude, right? So Diddy's facing 3 federal charges at this time period, one of them being racketeering. Racketeering is a case that is a very hard charge to prove. And so there's a lot of underlying crimes that will go into proving the racketeering case on the federal level. If the federal prosecutors can move forward with that case and they are successful there, it's going to be much easier for the state prosecutors to move forward on their criminal cases, because they may be able to insert some of that information into their trial setting if they have it. I would say that because they have that authority or a precedent to be able to move forward first there, I would be waiting if I was Buzbee as well, moving forward on the civil case and moving forward with trying to do criminal case as well.
And I'm interested to know.
Again, a lot of very interesting stuff. I mean, again, Diddy, Diddy's a lot. Diddy is in a lot of trouble. Okay, very, very long story short, dude is in a lot of trouble, and and of course, Hollywood should be shaking in their boots right now. Everybody from Ashton Kutcher to Leonardo DiCaprio to Kevin Hart to Jay-Z to any other person that's ever been involved with him, that has ever been closely in close, having a close, tight relationship with this man, they should all be very, very concerned about this situation, because if they've ever been involved or ever been at these parties and ever gone to these after parties, man, it's not good. Okay. Now, this is another video I want to share with you guys, because we are still waiting for for this press conference, and I want to make sure I get everything set up. But there is a video with Ray J. Okay. Ray J's back. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Ray J's back. And he had nothing to say. In fact, he had nothing to say. But he tried to say something, but he didn't say nothing. He was back on News Nation. Shout out to News Nation. Brian Entin had him on the show, asking him about, hey, do you think more celebrities are going to get hit by this whole situation, right? You just got to hear what he says here, okay? Because it is trash, all right? And I wonder why he's still like all up in the videos too. I'm still wondering why he's all up in this, because it just doesn't make any sense to me. But before we get into that, please do me a favor, okay? Hit that like button down below. We're at 600. Wow. Let's get to 1K real quick. Let's get to 1K really, really quick. All right. 1K likes, please and thank you. That would mean the world to me. A like don't cost a thing, but it helps with the show, helps with the platform, etc. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that yet. Make sure you go to my secondary channel too, the Pascal Show Clips. Subscribe to the secondary channel as well, please and thank you, because there's a lot going on over there too. Okay, covering this and many, many things. Okay, let's not forget. Jackie just said, Pascal, I have a Will Smith story for you. Email me. Love to hear about it. Okay, but at the same time, Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith, everybody and anybody that has, is one of his closest friends, so on and so forth. You cannot tell me he doesn't know that these people don't know anything about the freak offs, that they're all just playing dumb. Again, same thing like Ray J. Why is he out here in these interviews? It's so odd to me. Like I said, it is so odd, and I want to play that video for you guys. Let's take a look at this. Oh, wait. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I got to fix that. Hold on. Hold on, let's reshare that. There we go. Now we got sound. There we go. Like I said, we're still waiting, but let's take a look at this.
Singer, rapper, and entrepreneur Ray J, and founder of the Shade Room.
Why is he here again?
Wandu. Thank you both for being here. Ray J, I want to start with you. I mean, you heard that was a lawyer for one of the alleged victims here saying that she has seen the tape and the stills, and it was a porn. Who do you think it could be, Ray J?
Well, I've been around long enough to know that, when there's smoke, you'll always find fire. And I think that, with the market in our world being so cornered and you have this crew of people at the top who make all the decisions, I think, it's like a house of cards. When one falls, the whole deck comes down. And so I think that we'll be seeing a lot of this. I think we'll be seeing a lot of celebrities. We'll be seeing a lot of people in power either step down or be exposed. And I think that's just where we are in this game. I think a lot of people have a very long success story at times. And then sometimes that fall is harder. I mean, you can't kick everybody down. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty. And so the question is, what do we do now? How do we save the new future? How do we save our future entrepreneurs? What are the roadmaps that we need to put together to not have this happen moving forward?
Yeah, it's interesting, Angelica. The one thing that I was stuck on from that interview with the lawyer was when she said that it was someone more high profile than Diddy. And I'm thinking, like, that's not that many people, Angelica.
Now, you tell me this.
What do you make of it?
Now, you tell me this.
I mean, I think
Hold
that
on,
Diddy
I'm
has
trying
a lot
to
of powerful friends with some of these tapes.
Whoops.
So
I'm trying to pause it. Do you think he really answered the question? Did he answer the doggone question or no? I'll tell you what, to me, he did not. That was whack. That was absolutely whack, in my personal opinion. What kind of answer was that? Did he answer the question? No. I can tell you emphatically, he did not. Okay? He did not answer not one thing. And if you can't hear it over here, you got to go over to the YouTube channel, okay? Because it's not on here, okay? But still, and then of course the press conference, we'll be watching it over on the YouTube channel, just so you guys know, on TikTok. But still, guys, come on, man. He did, Vanessa, okay? He did sound like a doggone politician. He's like, see, what had happened was that, and therefore, I was incarcerated, and I learned from my trials and tribulations. Like, it just sounded like he is trying to do as much backtrack and as much hopping around as he can, but he doesn't know how to maneuver verbally properly. You know what I'm saying? He's still just like, see, and then Diaz, and then we will just be completely flabbergasted by all the things that have happened here. And it's just trash. Word salad. He didn't even answer the question that Brian Enton actually asked. He definitely filibustered. He definitely filibustered. Okay? He's just sitting there going, let me just fill in the time. Let me do what I need to do and just fill in the time. Okay? But that was not an answer. That was him just trying to dance around it. And it's kind of, you know what I mean? Like, he don't need to be here. We are going to be watching the press conference. It's not happening for another 2 minutes, allegedly. I'm waiting. I am patiently waiting to see when this thing goes live, because when it goes live, we will watch it, but it's not up yet. Okay. Just so you guys know, for all you impatient mother lovers out there, we're going to be watching it. Trust and believe we're going to be watching it. We're going to be watching it, but let's hear what this person from the Shade Room had to say.
he has a lot of powerful friends.
And I'm thinking, like, that's not that many people, Angelica. I mean, like, what do you make of it?
I mean, I think that Diddy has a lot of powerful friends. We've seen his parties. We know that everybody goes. It was the hottest thing for the last, 20 years, 20, 30 years. So he does know a lot of people, between politicians and people in the music industry, and the entertainment industry in general. So I think that it's very plausible. There are tapes that people like myself in media have heard about. I haven't heard of any tapes that had any A-listers bigger than Diddy in them, but I know that there are people in the industry involved in some of these tapes. So I mean, it's very plausible.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go
Very
to joinnn.com.
So very, very plausible that there's other names on here. She answered the question, but did he? Hailton, no, he did not. Okay. It is what it is, right? It definitely is what it is. But at the same time, like, I'm still wondering why he was even there in the first doggone place, right? Why was he even there? Why? And that is something I don't think we're ever going to get answered, which is kind of frustrating. But, you know, like I said, I am still like looking around to make sure, you know. Okay, hold on. 1 second, guys. 1 second. So I was waiting for something. Come on, computer. Come on, baby girl. Let's go. Come on, mother lover. 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. Just getting this stuff going. Okay. So, just so you guys can see, all right, we are still waiting for it all to go down. Just so you guys can see it. Bam. They haven't started yet. Okay. It's not ready yet. They haven't gone live yet, but I am still waiting. We are all waiting, obviously. Okay. They said it was going to be on IG live, but looks like Fox 26 Houston is going to be covering it. Like I said, they didn't have this up before. Just so you know, I was looking around. They didn't have this up on Fox 26. And I thought, okay, maybe they really are just going to be doing this on IG live. But no, they are going to do this. And just so you know, it's supposed to be starting now, but it hasn't started yet. But when it does, we'll be seeing it right here. Okay. Just so you guys know. All right. Because I have their IG up. Well, it's now going down on IG. So what the hell is going on here? Allegedly, they are live on IG. Hold on. Come on. That's annoying. We're going to do this.
Great news. If you have a fire stick, rope.
Come on. Let's go.
There are many facets to this. The conduct we will describe today occurred over more than 20 years. There are many people and many entities involved.
Here we go, guys.
And we're going to follow this evidence wherever it takes us. We will find the silent accomplices. We will expose the enablers who enabled this conduct behind closed doors. We will pursue this matter no matter who the evidence implicates. These brave victims who have stepped forward deserve nothing less. The biggest secret in the entertainment industry that really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed to the world. The wall of silence has now been broken, and victims are coming forward. Our team has had at this point more than 3,285 individuals contact us, with people claiming people claiming to have been victimized by Sean Combs. After vetting, we now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs, as well as claims against many other individuals and entities that we will name as defendants as we file these individual cases. And you should know, to the extent the clients feel comfortable, we also intend to make these individuals available to the authorities, specifically to the FBI. And you should also know a few of them have already been spoken to by the FBI. Now, before we discuss the nature of the claims and claimants themselves, let me comment on the large volume of calls we have received since our first announcement. Even before the indictment of Sean Combs, we had received a small volume of calls and had screened a handful of cases. After the indictment of Sean Combs and the announcement that we were pursuing these claims, the floodgates opened. People who wouldn't otherwise, for a variety of reasons, are now stepping forward to make their voices heard and to pursue justice. But no, most of these people are scared. They fear backlash in their communities. They fear backlash in their own families. They are afraid of retaliation from the perpetrators and their associates. They are rightly afraid for their own personal safety. I expect that through this process, many powerful people will be exposed. Many dirty secrets will be revealed. We know what we are potentially up against. And as is always the case in situations like this, when a celebrity is involved, people can be downright mean and nasty. You would be shocked at the length fans will go, no matter the evidence to the contrary, to defend celebrities they love. I mean, there's a reason for this word fans. They're fanatics. I've personally already been threatened multiple times on social media. When I agreed to pursue this, I expected as much. This isn't my first rodeo. But victims who step forward to have their voices heard should not be subjected to that kind of conduct. They should not be targeted. I want to say this, and I want to be clear about it. Although we are vetting each call as stringently as we can, I always start with a mindset that I believe victims. I believe victims because I understand the tremendous courage it takes to step forward. So if you're watching this, please hear me. If you're out there and you have been victimized, you are not alone. There is a great strength in numbers. You can seek redress. You can obtain justice. We can help you, and we will help you. That being said, as stated, we are vetting every call that we receive. We've had to turn away some. For each, we ask for corroboration. For each, we ask for the identity of witnesses. We also have collected pictures, videos, texts. We check venues, we check dates. We want to corroborate that the claims being made have legitimacy and merit. We have on staff now a former detective from the Major Offenders Unit of Houston Police Department who is helping us vet each claim. We're using our common sense. We're being stringent because, as I said, these are not easy cases. They're very tough. The process is hard, and in some cases, the process is very lengthy. These cases are hard to prove. Many times, it's the victim's word against the alleged perpetrator. Each of these victims will no doubt be publicly attacked by the alleged perpetrators, and in some cases, the general public. The feckless and cowardly keyboard warriors love to attack. We know what we're up against. We did not enter this fray blindly. I wish it was my last such fray. I wish this type of behavior wasn't so pervasive. But it is what it is, so we will press on. As I said, our law firms have been retained by 120 individuals at this point to pursue cases in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs. You should know, in this group, it is evenly divided between males and females. There are 60 males and 60 females.
120.
Joined us to pursue these claims as plaintiffs. In this group, 62% identify as African American, 30% are white, and the remainder are Hispanic or Asian. The victims are from more than 25 states. The majority are from California, New York, Georgia, and Florida. I want to focus on the ages of these victims. When we talk about the ages of the victims when the conduct occurred, it's shocking. Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old.
Whoa!
An individual who was 14 years old.
Whoa!
We have one who was 15.
25
of the 120 individuals who are plaintiffs in these cases were minors at the time of the acts complained of. The time frame of the acts complained of is very wide. The conduct at issue spans from the years 1991 all the way till this year, 2024. If you wonder why there are so many alleged victims, that's your answer. We're talking about more than 25 years of this type of conduct. Now, although most of the victims who have stepped forward were victimized after 2015, this has been going on for a very long time. Now, when you think about the fact that some of this conduct occurred 25 years ago, and you wonder why would it take somebody so long to step forward, I want to remind you that many states in the United States have recognized that it's very difficult for a victim to step forward and to make these types of allegations when something very terrible has happened to them. I'll use New York, the state of New York as an example. The state of New York has specific statutes in place that revive claims that are even claims that would typically be not able to be brought, that revive such claims, and they can be brought even 25 to 30 years later. Because there's a recognition there in New York and California and other states that it's very difficult for a victim to come forward. And I would respectfully suggest the only reason many of these people are coming forward because they see other victims coming forward. And it gives them some comfort that, hey, I won't be the only one. And I expect more victims will come forward. You know, there's an old saying that says, a lie has great speed, but truth has endurance. The acts complained of in these cases that we're going to file occurred primarily in New York, either Manhattan or the Hamptons, or occurred in California, primarily in Los Angeles, or in Florida, primarily in Miami. Most of these events and incidents occurred at parties, typically after parties, or album release parties, New Year's Eve parties, 4th of July parties, something they call the puppy party, the all-white party, although several of these events occurred at auditions. Many times, especially young people wanting to break into the industry, were coerced into this type of
casting couch?
In the promise of being made a star, or in the promise of having
oh my God,
listen to their tape, or even let them
holy
read
hell indeed.
You should know that some of this behavior occurred at well-known venues in New York City. Some of this behavior occurred at private residences of people that we all know.
Who are they?
Some of this behavior occurred at hotels that we're all familiar with. You should know that more than 55% of the victims filed reported this conduct to either the authorities, that is the police, or to hospitals. We're in the process of collecting with our team assistants, medical records, reports that were made to the authorities. And I've already said that some of the individuals in this group did in fact talk to the FBI. You should know that several of the individuals, and when I say several, I mean many, who did in fact seek medical treatment were drug tested, and drugs were found in their system, weird drugs that you probably never heard of. One in particular that continues to pop up is a drug called xylazine, or trank, which based on our research is known as a horse tranquilizer. Now, there's been a lot of reports that we're filing a class action. This is not a class action. Class action is when one or two people file a case on behalf of a group of people. That's not this. These cases will be individual cases. Each case will live and die on its own merit. These cases will be filed individually, one plaintiff against whoever the defendants were involved in the case. Each case may be filed in one venue like California, another case may be filed in New York. One case may sue just Sean Combs, but multiple other people. One case may sue a range of people. I would expect most, though, to be filed, as I said, in New York and Los Angeles. Now, I know this. Many of you came here thinking or hoping, or perhaps believing that I may start naming names. That day will come, but it won't be today.
Blast.
The day
I was
will
hoping for
come
names.
when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names.
I bet they are.
It's a long list already. And of course,
Name
I already
them.
know who some of these individuals are, but because of the nature of this case, we're going to make damn sure that we're right before we do that. But the names that we're going to name, assuming that our investigators confirm and corroborate what we've been told, are names that will shock you. These are individual cases. There are indeed other perpetrators involved. They will be revealed when that particular individual case is ready to be filed. They already know who they are. And I'm talking here about not just the cowardly, but complicit bystanders. That is, those people that we know watched this behavior occur and did nothing. And I'm talking about the people that participated, encouraged it, egged it on.
Take them all
They know
down.
who they are.
Take them all down.
I call them the facilitators of foul play, willing participants in vile conduct. As we identify them, each will be part of this case as defendants. These defendants will not only include individuals, but will also include corporate entities who ultimately profited off of this culture and behavior. I'm looking at banks, pharmaceutical companies, hotels. We know that many of these individuals were paid cash. We know that many of these individuals involved, whether they were the ones being assaulted and abused, or they're witnessing other people being assaulted and abused and then paid and threatened and told to leave. Typically paid 10 grand in cash and told to leave. And then threatened as they were leaving. So in addition to Sean Combs, you should know the defendants in these cases we're going to file will include anyone, of course, who engaged in the assault or exploitation, anyone who participated in such in any way, anyone who encouraged or facilitated this conduct, anyone who was in the room and watched it happen but made no effort to stop it, any venue or venue owner who was aware of what was going on but failed to stop it, any individual or entity who knew about the conduct and benefited from it but did nothing to report it or stop it.
Take them all
Any
down.
individual or entity who covered it up or helped cover it up. These people who know who they are should just come forward now. I would imagine, as we speak here, there are a myriad of people who are very nervous. You can't hide skeletons in the closet forever. I would expect there are many people out there right now who are desperately searching their memories as they delete their texts and data. Now, although these are, in fact, individual cases, there is a common theme, an MO, if you will. Typically, the victim is lured into a situation where he or she is given a drink. Typically, that drink, reported by these victims, is apparently laced with something. Once that drink takes effect, the perpetrators perform all kinds of sexual acts on the victims, many times passing him or her around as other people watch and enjoy the show, and then leave the victim ashamed, confused, injured, and wondering what happened. When the victim reaches out, he or she is told not to say anything. Sometimes there are threats of physical violence or financial repercussions or bodily harm. The claims we intend to bring will include the following: violent sexual assault or rape, sexual abuse, facilitated sex with a controlled substance, false imprisonment, compelling prostitution, sexual misconduct, dissemination of video recordings, false imprisonment, sexual abuse of minors. Given the large volume of cases and given our other docket obligations, And given the fact that we want to be sure when we file these cases that they are fully vetted, I expect we'll start filing these cases against Sean Combs and other perpetrators within the next 30 days. Now, it's rare, sexual abuse, sexual exploitation, this type of activity is pervasive in our society, and it's rare we get a chance where we can really focus on this as a country and really focus on this about how pervasive this is and what we as collectively can do about it. So I thought I'd take this opportunity before I go into some of the individual cases and talk about some of the individual claims being made and so you'll get a sense of what this 120 people group looks like individually. I want to bring forward Carrie Paul. She's a national victim advocate who helps victims who have been victimized by this type of conduct. And she has some important words, and I hope you'll pay close attention. I think it's important that you hear from her.
Hello.
This is
Paul,
this is crazy, guys.
Advocate.
Wow.
It's not easy for any survivor to come forward. Our culture doesn't believe survivors. It blames and questions them. Instead of showing support, many choose to enable abusers. The media runs stories asking why it took so long for survivors to come forward, instead of asking what barriers exist. We also don't equip law enforcement with the ability to handle sexual assault crimes. Lack of funding translates to lack of training. We have officers in the field that don't know what to say to a rape victim, and also an alarming amount of backlog untested rape kits. Prosecutors are focused on what they can prove in a case, and if so, how to do that at time of trial. Advocates and staff are stretched thin with growing caseloads in the criminal justice system. Most people don't know how the criminal justice works in general. There isn't enough staff or resources to adequately explain the entire process to every victim and survivor. Our culture works against victims and survivors every day, and abusers know this. Abusers work themselves into positions of power, building a public image that is trusted and financially large enough to make people look away. Abusers are unfortunately very skilled at power and control, the foundation of abuse. They seek victims who are vulnerable, such as children, their employees, and their intimate partners, all who see a different version than the public does, all who rely on the abuser in some way. And for those that do come forward and aren't believed, face questions like, are you sure it happened that way? Were you drinking? What were you wearing? All of this creates an environment that enables abusers to continue abusing them and future victims. To the survivors that have come forward despite not being believed at some point in time, your courage is like nothing we have seen before. We thank you for coming forward for yourself and all survivors. And lastly, I want all survivors that are watching this to know we believe you and we support you. Thank you.
I want you now to hear from my co-counsel, Andrew Van Arsdale. We've created a sexual abuse hotline. I want him to visit with us just a few moments about how that works and the kind of volume of calls we've received.
Court TV's in the house. Show them some love. Purple heart emojis.
At Artist Hill, I'm the managing partner of Baby Law Group. We have offices in California, Montana, and North Carolina. To build off of what you just so well said, it's very hard to come forward. And given what we've experienced the past 10 days is really unprecedented in my career, at least. We represent thousands of survivors of abuse, and never, ever in a 10-day period have we seen over 3,000 people come forward where we've confirmed and decided to investigate and represent 120 people while we're continuing to work through another 100 plus cases to prove them up, to validate what has happened here, and to hold those that are responsible accountable. And so like Tony said, we've set this up, 1-800-200-7474. I have a team of people standing by literally. If you know that this happened to someone and you have information about it, please contact us. If this happened to you, come forward. There's attorney-client privilege here. What you tell us is in confidence. Yes, we'll have to go out and build your case, but we will protect you. And the other thing that I want to say is the pattern and practice of this, again, it's unprecedented. Over 30 plus years of the same sort of events happening, people thrust into the circle reportedly, and horrible things happening to them as a result. And from talking to these people that have come forward these past 10 days, I can tell you unequivocally that because the federal government did what it needed to do and indicted this man, that they put him in jail and a judge kept him in jail, they tell me directly, this validates my feelings. For so long, I thought it was my fault. What is it about me that put myself in that scenario? What was I wearing at the time? What did I do to be subjected to such horrific treatment at these people that I was trying to trust? Well, we know now it was not your fault. You were victimized by a group of powerful people that operated for 30 plus years, taking advantage of their wealth and the power that they held within the music industry. So again, thank you to every single person that has come forward and contacted our office over the past 10 days. If you or someone you know suffered the same sort of treatment, please contact us at the number behind me and we will help you. Thank you.
Thanks for the update.
I think it speaks to how important this issue is in the United States and frankly internationally, that we have reputable people here that want to provide kind of information that I think victims need to hear, witnesses need to hear, the public needs to hear. Let me introduce to you now Olivia Rivers from the Texas Association Against Sexual Assault, and let her visit with you a few moments about these types of cases.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Q Olivia Rivers. I am just served my 6th year as the board chair for the Texas Association Against Sexual Assault. I'm also the CEO for the Bridge Over Troubled Waters, which is a local rape crisis center here in the Houston area. So thank you for being here as we address these heinous crimes. Sexual assault is not just a crime of violence against the body. It's an assault on the very essence of human dignity and safety. It shatters lives, it destroys confidence, and all too often, it leaves survivors feeling like they are voiceless, isolated, and vulnerable. The reality for many survivors is that coming forward to report their assault is one of the most difficult and daunting tasks that they will ever have to do. And for some, it may take days, months, or even years to speak up if they ever do. The reasons for this have been mentioned, but include the fear of being disbelieved, being blamed or judged, and of course, retaliation. The trauma of the assault itself being compounded by the trauma of the criminal justice process, where survivors must relive their experience in order to seek justice. And these feelings and fears are further exacerbated when the allegations are against prominent figures in the entertainment industry or Hollywood. Cases involving powerful figures often attract significant media attention, which can deter victims from coming forward due to fear of public exposure or scrutiny. The intense focus on these high-profile cases can make survivors feel that their personal lives are being put under a microscope, causing further emotional distress. These allegations mentioned here today, as reported, reflect deeply troubling claims that deserve thorough investigation, and no individual, regardless of their stature, is above the law or public accountability. Sadly, the statistics paint a very disturbing picture. According to the National Sexual Violence Resource Center, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 6 men will experience some form of sexual violence in their lifetime. In the US alone, there are approximately 463,000 victims of rape or sexual assault every year, and these numbers barely scratch the surface, as sexual violence remains one of the most underreported crimes.
Wow.
But the numbers that follow tell an even more troubling story. Only about 23% of sexual assaults are reported to law enforcement. Of those, just 5% lead to an arrest, and even fewer, less than 1% of reported cases, ever result in a conviction, which is a devastating gap between the crime and the justice that survivors deserve. I want to briefly focus on our state here in Texas. According to the Texas Association Against Sexual Assault, 6.3 million Texans, men and women, will experience some form of violence. That's every 2 minutes someone is sexually assaulted. Meaning, during the course of this press conference, around 60 individuals will forever be changed by this violence. And those are just a few of the victims. Obviously, this is unacceptable. We cannot allow this cycle of silence and inaction to continue. We have to create an environment where survivors feel empowered to come forward, where they are met with empathy and respect and support, not skepticism and blame. We have to ensure that our legal system is equipped to handle these cases with the seriousness they deserve, and that survivors have access to the resources that they need beyond the legal courtroom. We have to address the root causes of this epidemic: prevention, awareness, and fostering environments where respect, consent, and safety are non-negotiable values. Additionally, support for survivors has to be holistic. They have to have access to counseling, medical services, legal advocacy, and of course, community support, regardless of whether they choose to report or not. To every survivor who has come forward, your bravery is an inspiration. To those who are still grappling with their decision, know that you are not alone and that your voice matters. Your story matters. We see you, we believe you, and we are committed to fighting for a future where sexual violence is no longer tolerated and where justice is not the exception, but the standard. Thank you.
Historical moment, guys.
Real quickly before we close here, about some specific instances without disclosing the victim's name. You probably know that depending on the age of the victim, you can file these cases, these individual cases, under Jane Doe or John Doe. Each state is different in that respect. Typically, there is a balancing test, like the public's right to know the name of the victim and plaintiff versus the confidentiality and the safety of the plaintiff. So we'll have to struggle with that with each one of these cases. Our intention, of course, is to, like we always do, file these cases under a pseudonym until the court tells us otherwise. But let me share with you a few, just kind of give you a sense of the kind of cases and the kind of instances that people are calling and reporting that we are trying to corroborate, vet. And these are the ones that we've already corroborated, vetted, and collected evidence on. One individual who was 22 years at the time she was assaulted said that the typical MO at one of these parties that have been widely discussed in the press was that when you were handed a drink, and now we know that the drink is laced with something, if you refused to drink it, you were kicked out of the party. Now, let that sink in.
Oh, wow.
I mean, the admission to this party was that you had to drink the chosen drink that was handed to you. And now we know that in most cases, I would say 90% of the cases, these individuals were drugged with some sort of drug. That was kind of the MO. Another instance, this individual who was 9 years old at the time was taken to an audition in New York City with Bad Boy Records. Other boys were there to audition as well. All of them were trying to land a record deal. All of them were minors. This individual was sexually abused, allegedly by Sean Combs, and several other people at the studio in the promise to both his parents and to him himself of getting a record deal. Another instance, another minor, told allegedly by Sean Combs that he would make him a star, but needed to visit with him in private about it, away from his parents. Once they were in a private area, allegedly Mr. Combs made the victim perform oral sex upon him.
Whoa.
Another incident, an individual 15 years old at the time, flown to New York City to attend a party, was drugged, and then taken into a private room, allegedly in the presence of Mr. Combs, where this female individual, minor, was raped, and then other individuals took turns raping her.
Jesus.
Another individual, 26 at the time of the occurrence, was picked up by, allegedly, by Mr. Combs and several other people in a black SUV from the airport, was given one drink in the SUV, and then literally woke up the next day not knowing what had happened, but with pain and damage to both her vagina and her anus, where she then went to the hospital. She was missing her underwear and her shoes.
Oh,
Another
boy.
instance, individual, this time not a minor, attended a group dinner, allegedly with Sean Combs in Miami. She wasn't drinking because she was pregnant, but whatever she drank at the table, apparently, at least according to her, was laced with something. She blacked out, and she woke up in the same bed, again, allegedly, with Mr. Combs in his mansion in Miami. Her vagina and her anus were torn and sore. And I could go on. I mean, literally, you're sensing a theme here. It's the same theme, and it all involves
hamburger,
some sort of drug. One instance, an individual who was 20 years old at the time was asked to attend, just saw her on the street, asked to attend a party in a hotel. She was flattered, went to the party, was given one drink and doesn't remember anything else. Ultimately, was so messed up, went to the hospital where they found cocaine and this horse tranquilizer in her blood system. I'm going to give you a quote from a very young man who told us over the phone about his experience and all the things that happened to him. He says allegedly at the hands of Sean Diddy Combs and his friends in the effort to try to sign a record deal. This was kind of what he was told he would have to do. His quote is, "Had he not been in power, I feel like I could have been something great. I quit the industry because of what Sean Combs did to me." And that's really what it comes down to. We are pursuing this, asking you to support this effort, to encourage witnesses and victims to come forward and bring your evidence so we can continue to break down this wall of silence and we can continue to have these stories heard. This is the beginning of what I hope to be a national dialogue. This type of sexual assault, sexual abuse, and sexual exploitation should never happen in the United States or anywhere else. This should have never been allowed to go on for so long. This conduct has created a mass of individuals who are injured, scared, and scarred. If you're one of those individuals, we ask you to reach out. If not to us, to someone you trust. If you're someone who witnessed any of these events, we ask you to reach out. Your name can remain confidential.
We're going to be dissecting shortly.
I'll take a few questions, not many, maybe two.
Okay. I was like,
if you have a question, I'll be pleased.
I literally thought he was going to take questions, but good. He's taking questions.
How many minors are making accusations in total, and are the feds aware of the allegations of minors in the case?
I don't know what the feds are aware of, okay, but I do know it's 25 out of this 120. I will say this to that point. We welcome the FBI or any authority who wants to come to us, and we're going to make that available to these victims because I think that's important. My suspicion is, based on talking with these folks, is that the FBI is just not aware of these people. The FBI has talked to some of these folks, and I'm going to try to encourage the victims to, in fact, talk to the FBI because I think they have some very important things to say.
25 minors.
They were all of the children
filing lawsuits
because they were musicians, or were any of them kids of employees or anything like that?
All seeking either TV or some sort of music career with promises of,
casting couch, guys.
Instead, basically did things to them such that they don't want to have anything to do with it.
Casting couch in the most diabolical way. Real talk.
Guys. Thank you very much for your attention.
That's it. Dag nab. Wow. Wow. Wow, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. Okay. There's a lot to dissect, y'all. Okay. And I know a lot of y'all are kind of curious and wanting to know a little bit of a recap. I may go and try to find the press conference on YouTube because I know that there was a tiny bit in the beginning because some of you guys were talking about like 3,000 and I'm wondering what the 3,000 is all about. But there is quite a recap that we have to do here. Yeah, I got emotional. When I heard about 9-year-olds. I'm not gonna lie, that got me really mad. Solely because of, well, it's 9-year-old kids. Who does that? Who does that? But let me I'm just playing a little bit of the beginning of this because like I said, this is, and of course this is better, hopefully better sound, but I wanted to play right when they get in here because I know that there was some things and I was like, what's this 3,000? I'm wondering what the 3,000 is all about. So I just want to play that really quick. And I appreciate all the roses and all that stuff. It really does mean a lot, guys. Thank you. I will give you a recap. Just stay with me. Stick around. I'm going to give you the recap here in just a minute. But let me just hear just a little bit of what he had to say here because, we are on that IG Live and we stuck on there because I didn't want to move and take the time to try to pull up this. This is way too big, way too much breaking news. This was absolutely massive. Hollywood should be terrified. They should be absolutely terrified even more now. Again, we have heard over 120. Isn't that crazy? I said, 120 with the 13 that were involved. Okay, that with the 13 individual lawsuits that have been filed, right? That's if and whenever the 13th one does come out, right? But whenever the 13th actually gets filed. So now they're saying 120 individuals have stepped forward. 120 individuals for this class action lawsuit alone are filing in this class action lawsuit against Diddy. A lot of them were minors. A lot of them were kids. Real talk, a lot of them were littles. So hold on. And it just makes me so mad because it just makes me think of my kid. It gets me so mad. And it's like he's been playing. And again, we gotta err on the side of caution, right? Because a lot of them could be real, could be true. Some of them could be slipping through and lying here. But at the same time, that is a lot of people stepping forward, saying the same story, saying the same MO, saying the same breakdown. And we got some of the breakdown, which we are going to get into here in just a minute. But I just want to hear just a tiny bit, okay? I just want to hear a tiny bit of what he said in the beginning because I must have missed something. Okay, so just grant me some grace. Let's take a listen to this the beginning of this press conference really, really quick. Okay, because he starts fast. So let's rock and roll.
To this, The conduct we will describe today occurred over more than 20 years.
20
There
years.
are many people and many entities involved. And we're going to follow this evidence wherever it takes us. We will find the silent accomplices. We will expose the enablers who enabled this conduct behind closed doors. We will pursue this matter no matter who the evidence implicates. These brave victims who have stepped forward deserve nothing less. The biggest secret in the entertainment industry,
1 second, guys,
that really wasn't a secret at all, has finally been revealed to the world. The wall of silence has now been broken, and victims are coming forward. Our team has had at this point more than 3,285 individuals contact us, with people claiming to have been victimized by Sean Combs. After vetting, we now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs, as well as claims against many other individuals and entities that we will name as defendants as we file these individual cases. And you should know, to the extent the clients feel comfortable, we also intend to make these individuals available to the authorities, specifically to the FBI. And you should also know a few of them have already been spoken to by the FBI. Now, before we discuss the nature of the claims and claimants themselves, let me comment on the large volume of calls we have received since our first announcement.
Okay, so we already heard all that, but that was the very beginning part of it. So I wanted to make sure that we have that, okay? And then, of course, real quick, I want to do something real quick. Hold on. Oh, crap. Hold on 1 second. Again, thank you so much for all the love and all the roses and stuff like that. It really does mean a lot. Real talk, it really, really does. Okay. Thank you so much. But again, what's crazy about this? Okay. So let's break this down. Okay. We're going to break this down because there's a lot that's being said here. There's a lot. Let me take this banner down too. Thank you so much for everybody for being here. It really does mean a lot. There's a lot to digest and a lot to process here. So please do me a favor, hit that like button down below. Let's get it to 2K if you're watching on the YouTubes, okay? Throw a donut or two. That'd be greatly appreciated, okay? If you're watching on the TikTok, make sure you hit that like button or the love or heart, whatever the hell it is on the TikTok. Follow, subscribe, all that stuff, okay? Please and thank you. Don't forget to go to my secondary channel, okay? The Pascal Show clips. I'm almost at 10,000 over there. If you can go over there, take 2 seconds, subscribe. I am covering and giving you guys pop-up videos covering this case and many other things over there as well. So just subscribe over there. That'd be greatly appreciated. Okay. We cover a lot of stuff here, not only just true crime, but pop culture, everything in between. It's been wild, and especially this case has been wild. Diddy's in a lot of trouble, guys. I mean, we already knew that he was in trouble, but he's in a lot more trouble than I expected. And here's the thing, okay? Yes, let me pull that up. Emily, yes, not just class action, but individually filed, y'all. He just said that. So at first we thought it was going to be a class action lawsuit, and I'm sure some of them are going to be part of some sort of class action lawsuit. I'm assuming, but he did say that these are individual lawsuits that are going to be filed. That is massive. So you say, let's just be real. You have 120 individuals, and if they all individually file, he's got 120 individual lawsuits flooding his inbox, flooding his lawyer's inbox. This is about to get absolutely insane. There will be a case or two, there will be a breakdown of documents almost every other day, most likely, as they start to file these one after the other. Like I said, it's going to be not just victim 13, lawsuit number 13. It's going to be lawsuit 133. You see? It's going down for real, y'all. It's about to be bad. And the other thing is, there's a lot of names that are about to get dropped. There's a lot of names that are going to be mentioned in these lawsuits that are household names, as he just said himself. And I'm sure a lot of us are going to be super shocked when we hear the names that are mentioned in these 120 individual lawsuits. Imagine that. We ain't even done yet, baby. We just at the tip of the iceberg, ladies and germs. So let's get into this. And we can sit here and assume and speculate all day long. Let's just wait for the lawsuits to come out. Real talk. Let's wait for those lawsuits to come dropping in like it's hot, because they coming out like a tidal wave. So, first off, at first in the very beginning, it was a small volume of calls. That's what he said. Okay. He said, hey, there's going to be a small volume of calls. And then, or there was in the very beginning. But then after he put out the fact that there were more that there were about 50 some odd people speaking out, joining in on this class action lawsuit, guess what happened? Floodgates opened, as he said. He said the floodgates opened because a lot of these people, now that he's been arrested and now that he's behind bars, they felt incentivized. They felt strong enough to step forward and speak out about their cases as well, because they were not scared anymore because this monster is locked up. Now, I want to point this out. He is trying everything he can to get a third appeal for his bail. He wants to get out of there as bad as it can be, okay? He really wants to get the hell out of there. But what's very interesting about this is that if he is let go, if this judge, and I hope this judge is watching, hi, how you doing? Sup, judge, how you doing? Hopefully you're making the decision when they actually do the hearing for this appeal, and you make the right decision. And you say, hell to the no, hell no, and slam that doggone the cage shut right in his freaking face. Please and thank you. Because this guy is a monster and he should not be let go. Shackle that mother lover. Don't let him anywhere near these people. Because you know for a fact, as soon as he gets out, he's going to start intimidating. He's going to start harassing. He's going to start making people's lives a living hell. And all these people that are suddenly coming out of the shadow, they're out of the shadows, they're all going to run back into the shadows. And then we'll never hear from them ever again. So please, judgy judge, do the right thing. And do not, I repeat, do not let this man out. Moving on. Many powerful people will be exposed. That is very important information, don't you think? Many powerful people will be exposed. Remember, they said something along the lines of, we've heard this whole thing back in the day. You know, Trump, we don't have Trump right now. But back in the day when they said drain the swamp, oh my dear God. Ain't that wild that that's happening right now as we speak? Or could potentially happen right now as we speak. In fact, I feel like Russell Simmons is going to have a lot of new friends doing sun salutations with him, you know, out there in Bali, hiding out as far away as he can get, as far away as these certain individuals can get. Watch, there's going to be an exodus of celebrities just jumping on planes and disappearing and being never heard from ever again. Where did he go? And he's off doing breathing exercises and sun salutations. Namaste. Back over there with Russell Simmons. Wait for it, because it's coming. all the people that know exactly what they've done, they are shaking in their boots even more now. This is crazy. This is crazy, but we are here for it, aren't we? Because we're here to see them drain the doggone swamp. Take them out. All of them that were enablers, all of them that were sitting there letting this whole thing go down, watching and turning a blind eye to the whole situation while these littles let's continue. They say it's 50-50, 120 individuals, okay? 50-50, 60 males and 60 females have spoken out. Now we understand that it was 25 littles. So 25 individuals are claiming that these crimes were done to them when they were littles, okay? Varying degrees, but they go as young as 9 years old. Nine years old. They are coming from different states, all kinds of different states. Okay, 25 different states, but he kind of glossed over the main ones where I guess a higher volume of these lawsuits are coming from Georgia, New York, California, and Florida. Okay, just to name a few of the 25 states in which all these victims are coming from. That's half of the country, guys. That's half of the United States, 25 states. I love this phrase. I love this line that he said, so I wrote it down because I thought it was fire. He said, "A lie has great speed, but truth has endurance." I'm sorry. I have to do the horn on that one because it's just, this dude had bars today. But let me repeat that again. A lie has great speed, but truth has endurance. Aren't we about to see that right now? Aren't we seeing that lately? See, this is the reason why, more than ever, that we should not be tired of Diddy cases, of talking about Diddy. We should not be Diddied out right now at all, because the swamp is getting drained. And what he did was in plain sight. What he's alleged of doing was in plain sight. But let's continue on. He says that a lot of these situations that happened, these situations, I can't use these words, okay? I don't want to. I might vomit in my mouth. But he said a array of these incidents happened at album release parties, Christmas parties, like holiday parties, white parties. This I had a hard stop at. I had a hard pause at this. What the is a puppy party? I actually don't want to know. Like real talk, I don't want to know, but I kind of want to know. What the hell is a puppy party? Can anyone know? Does anybody know what that is? The hell's a puppy party? No, it's not a puffy party. Puppy. He said puppy. What the is a puppy party, baby? Dog masks? Maybe furry stuff? Maybe they're running around. You know what I mean? But that, I had a hard pause on that. But they also said that these things happened in studios, in private residence of famous people. Not only just Diddy's crib, in famous people's homes, these things went down. Can you imagine that? These things happened at auditions, like I said, casting couch type stuff. Casting couches. He also said a lot of these kids, a lot of these individuals got tested, right? Finding certain types of substances in their system. One particular thing called trank or xyzoline. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Xylozine. I don't know how to pronounce it, but he was calling it trank, which is basically a tranquilizer, a horse tranquilizer. Okay. Your dogs, Angie said, my dog said, hell no. Yeah, no, every dog's like, dog party at Diddy's? Hell to the no. They can smell it from a mile away. They can smell the trank from a mile away. Okay. There are names, big names involved in this. Like I said just a second ago, some of these things happen in the private residences of famous people. And he even said, these are names that will be even more shocking to you. You'll be even more appalled, taken aback because of the information here. Maybe it's cosplay. Yeah, maybe it's cosplay costumes as dogs, but that's weird. That's weird. I haven't heard any rumors. You know what I mean? We haven't heard any rumors about him being into like that kind of stuff. So that's interesting. Unless a puppy party is a code word for something else that's specifically for littles, if you get what I'm saying. It's like you know what I'm saying? Puppies are little puppies. They're not full-grown dogs, right? So maybe they're using that code for that. Puppy parties. Apparently he's looking at banks, pharmaceutical companies because of these transactions that happened. In other words, he says that there were moments where hotels were getting paid, or staffs of hotels were getting paid $10,000 cash to cover certain things up. Then, of course, there was a little bit of people talking, other representatives, so on and so forth. Yeah, L. Yeah, L. Yeah. Trank. Real talk. This is no joke. But then the other part that I thought was interesting, and I think this is crucial as well, and this is a way I think that they are going to get a lot of people. That how Diddy got a lot of people. Okay. This part that it got me too. He said, if you refuse to drink what was handed to you, you would be kicked out of the party. Now imagine being somebody. Imagine being this 15-year-old kid wanted to be the next Chris Brown. With you. You know what I mean? You're hoping, ooh, I could be the next star. You're invited to a party with Diddy. You're around all your heroes, all your favorite artists. Holy cow, I'm surrounded by nothing but celebrities, status, success, stardom. You're getting the full Hollywood treatment. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, hey man, here you go, drink this. No, you're gonna drink that. What if I don't want to drink it? What is this? Just drink it, you'll be fine. And you have a split-second decision. Drink this ish or get kicked out of the party. You're in the room. You're literally at the precipice of stardom. You're not even at the window looking through the front window of the storefront. You are in the mother-loving store. You just haven't made your purchase yet. You got the clothes in your hand. You got all the stuff that you ever wanted. But you got to drink this thing first before you can go and take this stuff away. And have all the things you ever wanted. Or you get kicked out. Two different choices. Drink it, to drink or not to drink. That is the question, right? And what do you think a lot of these kids would do? A lot of these people would do? Shoot, I'll drink it. Thanks. And then they wake up not remembering a damn thing, feeling pain in places that they've never felt pain before. And then some. And here's some of them. I'm going to be code wording the hell out of this because it's pretty graphic. But it says a 9-year-old. There's 2 different 9-year-olds in this situation. One of them, or at least in the ones that he listed, because you remember, there's 120 people listed, and there's 25 minors or 25 people that say that they were minors when these actual crimes were committed. Just so you know. But a 9-year-old said that they went to Bad Boy Record. They were there to audition. And of course, he was there auditioning along with other people. Okay. And then he was plied with a substance and then was attacked by Diddy and many others. There was another 9-year-old as well that said Diddy was telling him that he was going to make, or that they were going to make them a star. I think this was a girl. Of course, Diddy attacked that 9-year-old as well. There's another 15-year-old that was taken to a party, okay? Taken to a party, hanging out, taken to a party, hanging out, a private party. She was given something to drink. Diddy and others attacked her. Another one, I don't remember the age, but I think she was a little bit older. She went to an event. She drank something. She woke up missing her underwear and her shoes. And of course, great pain in the downstairs area, both front and back, for lack of a better term. There was another one, which is even crazier. She was pregnant at the time. She was at a dinner. She drank something at that dinner. She woke up in bed with Diddy. Same situation, pain in the front and the back. Another one was 20 years old. She attended a party because he met her, I guess, on the street, invited her to this party, so she attended the party. She was also given a drink. And then, of course, the very next day, she went to the hospital. And this is where they found yayo, that white powder substance, and trank in her system. Again, there's a lot of stuff there's a lot here to dissect. And that's not even all of the victims and all of their stories, all of the things that they've experienced, etc. We haven't even heard. That's not even the tip of the iceberg, y'all. It's not. It's absolutely scary and wild. And don't worry, I'm going to play a little bit more of this, a little bit more of the press conference, because I know that, I gave you kind of like as much of a breakdown because he was just flooding out with so much information, and I was just trying to write as many things as I could, as quickly as I could. But at the same time, there is a lot to dissect here. There's a lot to digest, and it's scary to think that it's not only just Diddy, guys. It's not only just Diddy. There are other people, huge names involved. And yes, we can go we can go ham on all this stuff, right? We can go ham on the speculation, but I can't stress it enough. We should just wait. Because this is when people get reckless and say things and put out rumors and stuff like that isn't true, right? Trust me, they're coming out with a bunch of stuff. Oh, that's the other part. I forgot. Where is that? Where did that go? Where did that go? Where did that go? Yes, he said filing, and this is the other thing too, which is also crucial. Okay, he is saying that these other individuals that are involved, right? They're starting to file against others within the next 30 days. So they're going to have whoever could be involved is going to have a very, very, very cold holidays. So not only are they coming out with all these lawsuits, a lot of them are individual lawsuits now, guys. There's also going to be lawsuits filed against other celebrities that were there at these parties. Get ready for it. It's about to get really, really choppy out here. These waters are about to get choppy as hell. Let me get some of these super chats really quick before we do a little bit of a replay on this situation. First off, thank you so much, Shelly. Welcome to the family. I know you were right at the top of the show, but had to say that. King Bob, thank you so much for gifting one membership. And I know there's going to be a lot of, some people are gifting a lot of memberships. For those of y'all who have become new members, all I ask for you to do is to pay it forward, okay? Open the door for somebody, do something positive for somebody, so on and so forth, okay? Just pay it forward with positivity, okay? Please and thank you, all right? Rob Slack, thank you so much for being a member for the past 25 months, or 21 months, I'm sorry. Pascal, is it just me, or does all of these arrests and incidents happening lately seem to be coming possibly from Maxwell finally exposing the list? From the GM, you're talking about Epi's friend, right? Now I haven't seen the list myself. Has the list been exposed, like exposed? Because that's very interesting if that's the case. And yeah, it's very interesting that all of this is happening at the same time. Like I said, Diddy is just as bad he's just as bad, if not worse than Epi. That's crazy. All right. And Kath, thank you so much for becoming a member. Nikki, thank you so much for being a member for the past 41 months. I appreciate it. Rianne, thank you so much for gifting one membership. Kimberly, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, Caprice. I found it, of course, but I appreciate you giving me the heads up. And thank you so much. Okay. Vita, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the fam. DeWitt, what up, man? Got my popcorn out at press conference. Yeah, man. This was crazy. Okay. And I see you put up another one. I will say it now. I was waiting till we had a confirmed time, but I am really looking forward to this. DeWitt, thank you so much again. I'll be interviewing with Pascal, or we're going to have a conversation tomorrow evening. So DeWitt is the man who wrote the book, The Night Puff Tried to Kill Me. That is literally the name of the book. His little memoir talking about his experience being chased down through the streets of Manhattan. Okay. High-speed chase, running for his life, with Diddy trying to take him out. Okay. And his cohorts, Diddy and his cohorts trying to take him out. So tomorrow evening, I am going to be doing an exclusive conversation with the author, this man right here, DeWitt Gilmore. He's going to be talking about his experience and what has happened, or what happened to him at that time. And it's interesting right now because, back then I think there was a lot of naysayers thinking that he was just straight up lying, right? Just writing a story that's, fabrication. But now we're starting to know more about Diddy, and Diddy's a very dangerous man. So now his story is very, very interesting. And I'm looking forward to rapping with him about this. Okay. Breezy, thank you so much. Ray J is the reason KK got famous. Yes. Part of it takes 2 to make a thing go right. Right. I think that that filmed at a freak off party. She said she was given. Oh, interesting. I don't know if it was done at the freak off party, because I thought they shot it many different times, so on and so forth. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe, possibly. You know what I mean? Caprice, thank you so much. TMZ has it set up too. Oh, okay. You're talking about the live. Thank you so much, though. I appreciate the heads up. Kimberly in Japan, love your awesome mods. Yes, love to our awesome mods. Yes. Shout out to the mods. You guys are incredible. Thank you so much. Ladybug, thank you so much for being a member for the past 24 months. This is going to be bigger than JE or HW, unfortunately. Yes, this is absolutely massive. This is astronomically massive, okay? Because he was doing this for a long time. And who's to say that JE or HW weren't at these mother-loving parties themselves as well? Think about that for a second. Tish in Tennessee, thank you so much. All involved need to be held accountable. Absolutely, I agree 100%. Sadly, there's there is often one or two scapegoats. Yes, that is a good point. That Diddy will get the brunt of all this, but there will be names going down. This lawyer even said that. He ain't playing. He said these guys, whoever was involved, whoever turned a watchful, a blind eye to this whole thing, they are going to be hit with something, whether they like it or not. People are going down, okay? Rianne, thank you so much for gifting one membership. I appreciate it. B. Tina, thank you so much for the love. Thank you. And thank you for checking it out. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now, I'm going to get to the other super chats here in a second, but I do I do have I do want to play a little bit of this press conference, just a little bit, just a quick recap, because again, woo, my mind is blown, y'all. People as young as 9. Okay, people as young as 9. So let me just play. I'm gonna roll this back to when he shows up, because it's like they going hot and fresh out the kitchen. So I can't even say that phrase anymore too. Damn. But anyway, I am quite curious. Yeah, that's the thing. True Faith, J-Lo, though. Think about this, y'all. He said people that were there that turned a watchful, a blind eye to the whole situation. People who were enabling him. People who were saying yes to him. All his sycophantic suck-ups that were around him that knew anything about this dude and how he maneuvered out here in these streets are going to get got. And what's interesting is, could J-Lo be one of those people? She was with him for a long time, but you also got to remember there's other people that was with him too. Other women that have been in high-profile relationships with this diddler. His most recent girlfriend, Young Miami. Let's not forget that, guys. So are all of these people going to get smashed? I am quite curious. Aren't you? Is J-Lo going to get hit? And then, see, that's the other thing, because there's been rumors about why J-Lo and Ben Affleck, Bennifer broke up. Is it really because he knew, he found out about things that he found out certain things that she did while she was with Diddy that turned him off, and he was like, yo, I'm out. I can't be with you. I can't be with you like that. Maybe. But remember, J-Lo's not the only person. She is not the only one, guys. Okay? And of course, yeah, let's not forget Clive Davis and the sort. Every other person. Shoot, Ray J. Ray J should be nervous too. For a fact, he's been at these parties. Maybe he wasn't at these after parties, but he's been all up in these interviews. He's been showing up on News Nation, getting his face out there. Why? Why is he doing that? Is it really because he wants to help? Or is he trying to avert? He's trying to play that Kansas City shuffle, making everybody think he's the good guy when in actuality, he's been involved in this ish. I'm just asking the questions. Kevin Hart, any other people, any of the big names that are out here, this is going to be monumental, guys. The names that are about to be dropped, everyone's going to be like, I'm not watching not one of their comedy shows no more. I'm burning all their CDs, all their merch. Who buys CDs anymore? But you know what I'm saying. I'm deleting all of their songs. I'm not following them anymore. All the accolades that they've been given, what are they all going to get like stripped from them after this? Will Smith, Jada, any of those other names. Think about it for a second. Like I said, I got questions, y'all. And you know what? That's another good question too. Desireen, that's a very good question. Asking a question, who hired the lawyer? Okay. In fact, who hired a lawyer? That's also what I'd like to know too. Real talk. Who recently just obtained an Esquire in Hollywood? Think about that for a second. Because you know for a fact, if they've all started calling up, you know what I mean? Brown and Brown and Brown and Brown. Come on down to Brown and Brown and Brown and Brown. Everybody's doing that right now. Calling up Brown, Brown, Brown and Brown. Seriously. Law firms, phone calls, their phones are ringing off the hook right now because any person that's involved in this ish is trying to cover their own ish. The other thing too that the lawyer even said, which is also crazy too, he said, I wouldn't be surprised that the people who know are about to catch a charge, catch a lawsuit at least, are going to their phone, deleting as much of their memory, trying to do as much as they can to cover their own butt right now. Real talk. So all the people that were watching this, that were in Hollywood, I'm sure they were all looking at each other like, you deleting stuff right now? Why are you in your phone, bro? No, I see you in your phone. What are you doing in your phone, bro? What? I mean, you were at one of these parties. I mean, are you deleting some stuff? The hell you doing, bro? No, I'm just looking at the live video. No, you ain't. What are you doing, bro? What are you deleting, homie? Real talk. Were you at these videos? Like, were you in that party? You have footage from that stuff? Watch. People are literally doing that right now. I wasn't there, man. I wasn't there, I swear. What are you doing on your phone? That's a lot of moving. There's a lot of choreography with your finger, man. What are you trying to delete, bruh? Nothing, man. I ain't doing nothing. I didn't do nothing, man. I wasn't there, man. Okay? Get ready. It's about to be crazy. But let me play a little bit of this, okay? And then I'll get to the super chats. I promise, okay? Because this was a monumental day. What we've all been waiting for, real talk, what we all have been waiting for has just happened. And I'm telling you, I am so here for it. Because I as soon as I hear, I mean, no matter what, the crimes that are committed on any person, on any age, I'm not happy about it, right? It angers me and I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? I'm plotting your demise myself. But at the same time, when I hear about kiddos, like that took me out, y'all. That literally I was like, wow, 9. And somebody just asked this, and I'm going to explain it to you. Somebody just said, what is the casting couch? Casting couch is this. It is a situation like what happened to one of these 15-year-old kids. Let me explain. The 15-year-old kid said, or not 15-year-old kid, one of the 9-year-old kids. One of the 9-year-old kids was at Bad Boy Records. Apparently, he was auditioning for a chance to be on the label, thinking that they're getting this close to stardom, right? And then what happened? They get it viciously attacked. But the thing is they're getting told, you want this role, you need to give up this thing. Like, if you want you want this record deal, you need to be willing to do whatever you can. You need to be willing to do whatever to become a star. So then what happens? Kid is coerced, forced, whatever, into acts that no kid of any age should be doing. But then next thing you know, they're alleging that not only did Diddy do this, but also some of Diddy's cohorts were involved in that stuff too. Now, we've heard casting couch in the past in many other ways, like H.W. Weinstein. I'll say his name once, where it's like Gwyneth Paltrow, for example. Oh, you want that movie? You want that role? Shakespeare in Love? Well, I'm going to need to feel some love from you here right now. So you perform for me, I'll give you that script and I'll give you that role so you can get the Oscar later on. And that's what happened. That's what happens in Hollywood. The couch. You want that role? You need to give it up. And then I'll give you the role. Maybe I'll give you the role. Sometimes it's a maybe. Sometimes it's a maybe I'll give you the role. But if you want to be a star, baby, you need to give me something. And then I'll give that to you. A little quid pro quo, if you will. And that actually does happen. The couch is real. And we're now hearing that that is real. Even in this situation, even in the music biz. Allegedly. We still have to say allegedly. Okay? This is wild. So let me play a little bit of this. Just so you guys understand what the couch is. The couch, it's a real thing. And they're still doing it out there right now as we speak. Right now, somebody's utilizing the couch. Even after watching this live video of this lawyer exposing basically the dark underbelly of Hollywood, that person, this monster is stopping the video going, damn, that's a damn shame. Okay, Susan, you were going to do something for the role for this new movie? Because I know you really want to be in it. So perform for me, Susan. Even after this, even after seeing this ish, somebody out here. Do you realize how disturbing and disgusting this man is? Diddy is? How disgusting is he? He's so disgusting that he was still doing parties up until his arrest. He was still doing crimes up until his arrest. Think about that, guys. Hamburger indeed. Let me play this for you guys. Let me just replay a little bit of it, okay? Just a little bit. I want to start from the very, very beginning when he shows up, when he walks up. So let's take a listen. There's no sound. What?
As they speak. As many of you know, our law firm has been at the forefront of some of the most important litigation in the.
Hold on, I'm doing that again. That was weird. Yes, mute.
As they speak.
Okay.
As many of you know, our law firm has been at the forefront of some of the most important litigation in the United States. We like the tough cases. We thrive in the complicated cases. We've handled over the last 25 years some very big and very important cases. I believe that this one may surpass them all. There are many facets to this. The conduct we will describe today occurred over more than 20 years. There are many people and many entities involved. And we're going to follow this evidence wherever it takes us. We will find the silent accomplices. We will expose the enablers who enabled this conduct behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
We will pursue this matter no matter who the evidence implicates. These brave victims who have stepped forward deserve nothing less. The biggest secret in the entertainment industry that really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed to the world.
No doubt. This guy is unearthing a huge piece of information. Again, on TikTok, guys, the press conference is not going to be piped in here, just so you guys know. But still, this is absolutely massively huge. This information is, I think it's going to open up a new, fresh pair of eyes and inquisitive. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people asking new, fresh questions on old rumors because of this whole thing coming out. Like, they talk about the, I can't even say the word, but or the full phrase, but the pizza thing, right? The pizza pie. Okay. You know what I'm saying. All right. There's going to be now more people asking questions about that now too. And then of course the certain things, like I said, there's going to be some wild questions being thrown out here that I don't think a lot of us are fully ready to even talk about yet. And that's what I mean by, like, it's about to go down. It's about to be absolutely crazy. And are we ready for that? That's the thing. Then the other thing too is it does make you wonder about other people that have been accused of doing bad things too. Let's not forget that too. There's been a history of, rumors, so on and so forth, about other people that have not been caught. So it does make you wonder how many other of these things and all these other rumors that have spread out here. How about all these other allegations and these victims that have spoken out and stepped out on to expose certain stars? Like recently, it's funny. I was going through some old stuff and just kind of doing some digital spring fall cleaning, and shoot, Jamie Foxx was just a little while ago, long time ago, accused of SA. You see what I'm saying? There's been so many of these situations where you go, hey, what happened? What you see what I'm saying? Whatever happened to those allegations? Are these actually real? Could those rumors that were being said, could they actually be true stories? But because we always err on the side of, well, the people lie because they want to make money, they just want to make a quick bag. What are the possibilities of those things actually being true now? I mean, you got, like I said, the Ashton Kutchers, the Leonardo DiCaprios, the Kevin Harts, all of the Jay-Z's and then some. Possibility Beyonce and all that stuff. All those names that are being thrown out now, it does make you wonder how much of those things are actually true, but were just buried in the ground because it looked and sounded crazy. It's something to think. It's a question to think about. But let me continue. Let me continue this.
The wall of silence has now been broken.
I'm going to let this run for a little bit.
Victims are coming forward. Our team has had at this point more than 3,285 individuals contact us with people claiming to have been victimized by Sean Combs. After vetting, we now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs, as well as claims against many other individuals and entities that we will name as defendants as we file these individual cases.
Individual cases. Bang.
And you should know, to the extent the clients feel comfortable, we also intend to make these individuals available to the authorities, specifically to the FBI. And you should also know a few of them have already been spoken to by the FBI. Now, before we discuss the nature of the claims and claimants themselves, let me comment on the large volume of calls we have received since our first announcement. Even before the indictment of Sean Combs, we had received a small volume of calls and had screened a handful of cases. After the indictment of Sean Combs and the announcement that we were pursuing these claims, the floodgates opened. People who wouldn't otherwise, for a variety of reasons, are now stepping forward to make their voices heard and to pursue justice. But no, most of these people are scared. They fear backlash in their communities. They fear backlash in their own families. They are afraid of retaliation from the perpetrators and their associates. They are rightly afraid for their own personal safety. I expect that through this process, many powerful people will be exposed. Many dirty secrets will be revealed. We know what we are potentially up against. And as is always the case in situations like this, when a celebrity is involved, people can be downright mean and nasty. You would be shocked at the length fans will go, no matter the evidence to the contrary, to defend celebrities they love. I mean, there's a reason for this word fans. They're fanatics. I've personally already been threatened multiple times on social media. And when I agreed to pursue this, I expected as much.
Now, I do want to say this too. They need to protect this man at all costs. Real talk. They need to protect this man at all costs because he's representing so many different people. His law firm, all the people that are involved in this law firm, they really need to protect him and the people that are involved in this situation and the other lawyers that are involved in these cases. Because again, this is massive. And yes, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be, retaliating. Again, he even said there are fanatics out there that will do anything and everything they can in their power to try to take this man down because he's exposing the truth. Well, let's continue on.
This isn't my first rodeo, but victims who step forward to have their voices heard should not be subjected to that kind of conduct. They should not be targeted. I want to say this, and I want to be clear about it. Although we are vetting each call as stringently as we can, I always start with a mindset that I believe victims. I believe victims because I understand the tremendous courage it takes to step forward. So if you're watching this, please hear me. If you're out there and you have been victimized, you are not alone. There is a great strength in numbers. You can seek redress. You can obtain justice. We can help you, and we will help you. That being said, as stated, we are vetting every call that we receive. We have had to turn away some. For each, we ask for corroboration. For each, we ask for the identity of witnesses. We also have collected pictures, videos, texts. We check venues, we check dates. We want to corroborate that the claims being made have legitimacy and merit. We have on staff now a former detective from the Major Offenders Unit of Houston Police Department who is helping us vet each claim. We're using our common sense. We're being stringent because, as I said, these are not easy cases. They're very tough. The process is hard, and in some cases, the process is very lengthy. These cases are hard to prove. Many times, it's the victim's word against the alleged perpetrator. Each of these victims will no doubt be publicly attacked by the alleged perpetrators, and in some cases, the general public. The feckless and cowardly keyboard warriors love to attack. We know what we're up against. We did not enter this fray blindly. I wish it was my last such fray. I wish this type of behavior wasn't so pervasive, but it is what it is, so we will press on. As I said, our law firms have been retained by 120 individuals at this point to pursue cases in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs. You should know, in this group, it is evenly divided between males and females. There are 60 males and 60 females who have joined us to pursue these claims as plaintiffs. In this group, 62% identify as African American, 30% are white, and the remainder are Hispanic or Asian.
You heard that, right? A large portion Not only is it 50% male, 50%, literally even down the middle, 50% male, 50% female, there's also a large portion of these individuals that have come forward that are Black. And then there's, other percentages there too. But a large percentage of them are African American. That's huge. See, this is the moment when I feel like a lot of people that will sit there and go, oh, yeah, you just trying to take a Black man down. These crimes were done against a large majority of Black individuals. A lot of the women that have come forward, those lawsuits, yes, it's been a mixture, but there has been a lot of Black women that have stepped forward saying that they are victims of this situation too. Why aren't we taking that situation serious? Now we're talking about littles too here. We should be taking all this stuff extremely serious. That's crazy. Half and half, male and female, 62% Black. This is serious. He exploited these individuals. He took advantage of these people. All of them hoping and praying for an opportunity for that shot. And he took advantage of that, allegedly. Okay? Let's continue.
The victims are from more than 25 states. The majority are from California, New York, Georgia, and Florida. And I want to focus on the ages of these victims. When we talk about the ages of the victims when the conduct occurred, it's shocking. Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old. We have an individual who was 14 years old. We have one who was 15. 25 of the 120 individuals who are plaintiffs in these cases were minors at the time of the acts complained of. The time frame of the acts complained of is very wide. The conduct at issue spans from the years 1991 all the way till this year, 2024. If you wonder why there are so many alleged victims, that's your answer. We're talking about more than 25 years of this type of conduct. Now, although most of the victims who have stepped forward were victimized after 2015, this has been going on for a very long time. Now, when you think about the fact that some of this conduct occurred 25 years ago, and you wonder why would it take somebody so long to step forward, I want to remind you that many states in the United States have recognized that it's very difficult for a victim to step forward and to make these types of allegations when something very terrible has happened to them. I'll use New York, the state of New York, as an example. The state of New York has specific statutes in place that revive claims that are even claims that would typically be not able to be brought, that revive such claims, and they can be brought even 25 to 30 years later. Because there's a recognition there in New York and California and other states that it's very difficult for a victim to come forward. And I would respectfully suggest the only reason many of these people are coming forward because they see other victims coming forward. And it gives them some comfort that, hey, I won't be the only one. And I expect more victims will come forward. There's an old saying, it says, a lie has great speed, but truth has endurance. The acts complained of in these cases that we're going to file occurred primarily in New York, either Manhattan or the Hamptons, or occurred in California, primarily in Los Angeles, or in Florida, primarily in Miami. Most of these events and incidents occurred at parties, typically after parties, or album release parties, New Year's Eve parties, 4th of July parties, something they called a puppy party, the all-white party, although several of these events occurred at auditions.
Let me just say this. Puppy party. You heard it. We play that again. Puppy party. The hell is that? What the hell is a puppy party? That's what I'd like to know. Okay? But a lot of these things happened at these kinds of parties. Then another thing, a lot of them also happened. At auditions, the couch. like I said before, the couch. Let us continue.
Many times, especially young people wanting to break into the industry, were coerced into this type of conduct in the promise of being made a star, or in the promise of having Sean Combs listen to their tape, or even let them read for Sean Combs. You should know that some of this behavior occurred at well-known venues in New York City. Some of this behavior occurred at private residences of people that we all know. Some of this behavior occurred at hotels that we're all familiar with. You should know that more than 55% of the victims filed reported this conduct to either the authorities, that is the police, or to hospitals. We're in the process of collecting with our team assistants, medical records, reports that were made to the authorities. And I've already said that some of the individuals in this group did in fact talk to the FBI.
Some individuals that did talk. Not only did they allegedly, he's saying some of them have filed. Some of them have filed police reports. Some of them have also been cooperating with the FBI. Wow. Like I said, this one's jam-packed. This press conference is jam-packed with a lot of information. Let's not forget that too. They are indeed working along with the FBI. This is the reason why I'm saying we ain't done yet, man. Oh, snap. Let's not forget this too. Let's not forget Aaliyah. Let's not forget about Aaliyah. She was a baby, for crying out loud. She was a baby. So now all those rumors, do you see what I'm saying? Those kinds of rumors that were floating around back in the day, now you keep wondering, what's up with that? Then also at the same time, the plane, her plane crashing and all that stuff. People have questions about it. There's conspiracy theories floating around about that one as well, but let's be real. People got questions. All right? And understandably so. Think about this, y'all. Aaliyah. This goes way beyond. This goes back.
You should know that several of the individuals, and when I say several, I mean many, who did in fact seek medical treatment were drug tested, and drugs were found in their system, weird drugs that you probably never heard of. One in particular that continues to pop up is a drug called xylazine, or trank, which based on our research is known as a
xylazine.
Now, there's been a lot of reports that we're filing a class action. This is not a class action. Class action is when one or two people file a case on behalf of a group of people. That's not this. These cases will be individual cases. Each case will live and die on its own merit. These cases will be filed individually, one plaintiff against whoever the defendants were involved in the case. Each case.
Hold on, I'm rolling that back. Sorry, that's important information.
These cases will be individual cases. Each case will live and die on its own merit. These cases will be filed individually, one plaintiff against whoever the defendants were involved in the case.
You heard that, right? So now they're saying that there's going to be, we already heard that there was going to be individual, right? But now he's saying that these individuals, all of them have different stories, right? They all have the same MO, the same kind of breakdown, like, drinking something, then pass out, and then they wake up, or something of that sort, right? It's varying degrees of the same type of timeline, right? But now he's saying that they're all going to have different defendants in there. So like I said, it could be Ashton Kutcher on one, and then it could be Leonardo DiCaprio in another one, right? So there could be so many different names in here. Like I said, this is absolutely bad, okay? This is bad. This is very bad for them.
Each case may be filed in one venue like California. Another case may be filed in New York. One case may sue just Sean Combs, but multiple other people. One case may sue a range of people.
Boom. There you go.
A range of people. I would expect most, though, to be filed, as I said, thinking or hoping, or perhaps believing that I may start naming names. Well, that day will come, but it won't be today.
Yeah, I'm very upset about that.
The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. It's a long list already. And of course, I already know who some of these individuals are, but because of the nature of this case, we're going to make damn sure that we're right before we do that. But the names that we're going to name, assuming that our investigators confirm and corroborate what we've been told, are names that will shock you. These are individual cases. There are indeed other perpetrators involved. They will be revealed when that particular individual case is ready to be filed. They already know who they are. And I'm talking here about not just the cowardly but complicit bystanders. That is, those people that we know watched this behavior occur and did nothing. And I'm talking about the people that participated, encouraged it, egged it on. They know who they are. I call them the facilitators of foul play, willing participants in vile conduct. As we identify them, each will be part of this case as defendants. These defendants will not only include individuals, but would also include corporate entities who ultimately profited off of this culture and behavior. I'm looking at banks, pharmaceutical companies, hotels. We know that many of these individuals were paid cash. We know that many of these individuals involved, whether they were the ones being assaulted and abused, or they're witnessing other people being assaulted and abused and then paid and threatened and told to leave. Typically paid 10 grand in cash and told to leave. And then threatened as they were leaving. So in addition to Sean Combs, you should know the defendants in these cases we're going to file will include anyone, of course, who engaged in the assault or exploitation, anyone who participated in such in any way, anyone who encouraged or facilitated this conduct, anyone who was in the room and watched it happen but made no effort to stop it, any venue or venue owner who was aware of what was going on but failed to stop it, any individual or entity who knew about the conduct and benefited from it but did nothing to report it or stop it, and any individual or entity who covered it up or helped cover it up. These people who know who they are should just come forward now. I would imagine, as we speak here, there are a myriad of people who are very nervous. You can't hide skeletons in the closet forever. I would expect there are many people out there right now who are desperately searching their memories as they delete their texts and data.
There it is.
Now, although these are, in fact, individual cases, there is a common theme, an MO, if you will. Typically, the victim is lured into a situation where he or she is given a drink. Typically, that drink, reported by these victims, is apparently laced with something. Once that drink takes effect, the perpetrators perform all kinds of sexual acts on the victims, many times passing him or her around as other people watch and enjoy the show, and then leave the victim ashamed, confused, injured, and wondering what happened. When the victim reaches out, he or she is told not to say anything. Sometimes there are threats of physical violence or financial repercussions or bodily harm. The claims we intend to bring will include the following: violent sexual assault or rape.
Okay, and I'm gonna stop it there. But as you guys can see, I mean, this is going to be absolutely massive. And there's going to be we're going to be going live pretty much every other day, okay? Or pretty much every day with some sort of new lawsuit, with some new breakdown of some sort. I'm wondering when the first one is actually going to get filed, right? Because the other thing you got to remember, there's a 13th lawsuit right now that is pending. I haven't seen anything about this lawsuit yet. Okay, the lawyer was on Banfield on News Nation just a few days ago. Okay, last week, basically saying like, oh yeah, it's about to go down. Like we have a 13th. We're filing a 13th Jane Doe or a 13th lawsuit by a Jane Doe. And then we haven't heard anything yet about it. I'm still waiting for that one to drop. But you realize that the slew of lawsuits that are coming out, it's one after the other. And they're going to have to put in the work. They're going to have to go in this hyper overdrive. This law firm is going to be working nonstop just on this particular case, Diddy's case alone, because they're all individually going after Diddy. No more a class action lawsuit now. Now it's individual. And you got to remember, names will be dropped in these individual lawsuits that will claim that such and such person was there, such and such person was there. This is going to be really, really bad. This is absolutely massive. But then they said that the filings on others will happen within the next 30 days. So I am kind of curious if there's going to be filings on Diddy starting now, and then within the next 30 days, within this month, that's when they start dropping lawsuits against other individuals that were actually at these incidents when these crimes occurred, right? Like, let me just use his name, for example, okay? Doesn't mean that he did anything, but just using his name, for example. Say Ashton Kutcher was there, saw all this stuff go down, right? He was in the area, he saw it. They would be filing a lawsuit specifically towards him as well. Separate, if I'm correct. So again, this is terrible, okay? It's great because obviously it's taken all these mother lovers down, right? Everybody else that's been involved. It's crazy, and it frustrates me that celebrity and money and status can make people think that they're untouchable. That they really think that they're above the law, that they can do whatever the hell they want, taking advantage of all these people. One of them was pregnant, y'all. One of them was with child when they were attacked. You can't make this stuff up. Wide range of people. Wide range. Unbelievable. Let me get these super chats really quick. Lucci, thank you so much. Poof adder Diddy snake, but love for the victims. I don't understand that first half, but definitely love for all the victims, for sure. I mean, the fact that they have not spoken out, said anything is pretty wild, right? Until just now. But I am glad that people are stepping forward and speaking out about these things. Real talk. Collectively, thank you so much. Diddy's attorney might as well retract that motion to appeal bail. They're not letting him out. No, they're not. You're absolutely right, collectively. Okay? They're not. It's a wrap. Why would he even try at this point? It's a waste of time. Top attorneys require you have proof to back up claims, and the fact that there's 120 vetted claims is insane. Throw the key away. I completely agree with that. Absolutely, with 110%. Rianne, thank you so much. It's spelled with an X. Oh, okay. Xylazine. Okay, thank you, with an X. Thank you for that correction. I didn't get a chance to do the Googles yet, but thank you so much, love. I appreciate it. Pam, thank you so much for the super sticker. Joel, let's not forget about Africa Bombata, the original CA. Okay, thank you so much for that reminder. Oh, I missed a super sticker, but whoever just sent me the super sticker, thank you. I'm sorry I missed it. Nikki, thank you so much. I accidentally took it off. Thank you so much, Nikki. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Caprice, welcome to the fam. Thank you so much for becoming a member. All right. Olga, thank you so much for becoming a member. We got some new members today. I really do appreciate it. Good vibes. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you so much. Sam, thank you so much for the super sticker. Collectively, again, thank you so much for the love. Clive Davis out here walking around, doing interviews, acting like he don't even know who Diddy is. Exactly. All right. Stop acting brand new, Clive. You may be old, but I don't think he's senile, or is he? You know what? Here's the thing. He's not senile. Okay? He's not senile. He may be playing the senile role right now because he's in trouble. He's most definitely in trouble. You know, everybody's looking down at him right now. Everybody and their mama looking at Clive. Diddy had to learn this from someone. Who did he learn this ish from? That's the ongoing question, right? I think that's the one thing that we're all trying to figure out. How, who, what, when, where, and why. Oh, and Meek Mills, man, Meek Mills is done. That's one of his boys. That's why I'm saying, like, Ray J, Meek Mills, all of them, okay? All of them that have been involved, hanging out with him, showing love to him, okay? And some people are just going to get hit by just with only being guilty by association. Some of these people, we have to err on that. We have to err on caution because there's going to be some people that just know Diddy, that are just friends of Diddy, right? That are now going to be looked at in a, everyone going to be side-eyeing them. And it's like, damn, I was just his friend. Doesn't mean that I know what he does behind closed doors. And that's true too. We still have to keep that on the table, right? But at the same time, I mean, if you that close to the dude, you really don't know about these parties? You going to those parties, you don't really know about these? If Cat Williams knows about these parties, how would his closest friends not know about these parties? And again, Cat Williams has been warning us for decades about this. And you know for a fact he ain't running with that crew. He ain't tight with Diddy. But somehow he was in these parties. Somehow he was in these rooms, seeing these things. So you tell me his close people like Ray J and the Meek Mills and all that, they're just completely oblivious? They don't know about this stuff? J-Lo or any of the people that he's been romantically involved with, they wouldn't know about any of this stuff? Miss me with the nonsense, y'all. Miss me with the nonsense. So much is about to drop. This month of October, it's going to be wild. And it's going to be creepy too, because you're going to be, and I don't mean to be because it's Halloween and stuff, but literally because you're going to be like, wow, I really loved that guy. I watched everything he was in, or I listened to every single song that he had. Loved his stuff, only to find out that that dude is just as bad. That's what I mean by it's creepy, because it's going to be like, wow, he was selling. He made me want to go and buy this brand or buy this and so on and so forth, right? Go and buy this liquor. Go and buy these shoes, right? Go and buy this tube of toothpaste because I love it so much. It keeps my teeth white. Only to find out that mother lover is just as bad. A lot of people are going to be creeped out. And Hollywood's in trouble. You got to remember, though, too, this is not only just Hollywood celebrity names. It's also the people behind the camera, the people that make the things happen, that make make the choices, right? The movers and shakers that decide, oh, we're going to put that kid in that movie and we're going to put that guy in this movie, right? Or the big time powerhouse agents that are out there, movie executives, so on and so forth, movie directors, all those things, all of them in some serious trouble right now. And we're going to see this whole thing go down in a barrel of burning cat piss. Wait for it, because it's about to go down. Anyway, guys, that is the show. All right. Your man's hungry. I am hungry as hell. So I got to hop off here. But I appreciate you guys. And oh, yeah, let me just say this too. Let's not forget, we get into the political. There's also political people, political powerhouses that were at these parties too. They could be people who run our country to the people who help run our country. You feel me? So, oh my God. This is going to be wild. I feel like we flew into the vortex of like this like the center of the sun and came out the other side into a whole other universe. It is so wild. But a lot of things the veil is literally right now ripping off of our faces, and we're seeing the stark reality of the world that we live in as we know it. This is insane. Anyway, guys, it's time to get going. I appreciate you guys for being here. It really does mean a lot. Hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on the X or on the TikTok, please and thank you. If you're watching on other platforms, hit that reaction button as well. If you are on those other platforms, please be sure to hit that follow button. I'm on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, X/Twitter, so show some love and go over there. Follow. Subscribe to this main channel. Go over to my second channel real quick and subscribe, because I'm giving you guys updates and stuff like that over on the second channel. All right. The Pascal Show clips. We are this close to 10K. That would really mean the world to me if you guys can go over there and just subscribe. Okay. Make sure those notification bells are set to all on both channels, this one and the second channel, so you know whenever I go live or whenever I upload, because it is just going on the breaking news kind of flow right now, and things are breaking consistently. Okay, thank you. Do not forget to hit that join button down below. Become a member. Welcome to all you new members. Welcome to the family. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. But if you want to support even further, go check out Patreon, my Patreon page, patreon.com/The Pascal Show. Become a patron. Go check out pascalmerch.com. I saw somebody buy a t-shirt just a little bit ago. Thank you so much for buying a new tee over there on the Pascal Show. I appreciate it. Go check it out. Or on the pascalmerch.com page. I appreciate it. All right. And again, thank you guys so much for being here. We got a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on. This is going to be another very, very busy week, but we're going to get it in. I'm going to give you guys what you need. Okay? So anyway, it's time to get going. I'll be talking to you guys very, very soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. We'll talk soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.